Gonzaga, speaking of going right, they're still dancing, of course. It's the farthest they've ever danced in the NCAA tournament, going to the program's first ever Final Four, something not lost on this year's crop of players.
I've said from day one that getting to the Final Four, as bad as I wanted to get there personally, I wanted it first and foremost for coach. I said that there was no one more deserving as a coach, that hasn't been to a Final Four. So I wanted to do it for him, and I wanted to do it for all the Gonzaga supporters across the country, especially in Spokane, and the past players that he spoke of, because this really is a family, and I wanted to do it more for them than I wanted to do for myself. So I definitely thought a lot about it, and again, I'm just so happy for everyone who believes in Gonzaga basketball, and I'm just happy for everyone.
All right, so Timmy, sound that alarm. Tell me if this is an overreaction or not. Is reaching the national semifinal validation for Mark Few's impressive head coaching resume in his career at Gonzaga, now that he finally has that monkey off his
No, I don't think that's an overreaction. That's spot on. One of my near and dear friends in my life is the old Purdue coach, Gene Caden. Came to my wedding, loaned me money once when I was down in the dumps. I mean, I'm as close to him as one of his former players. Him and I are really good friends. And he always points out that he believes he does not get the recognition that he deserves. He has more Big Ten titles than Bob Knight. Purdue has the most Big Ten titles of any team in the history of the Big Ten Conference.
Wow.
But he's not in the Hall of Fame because he never went to the Final Four.
And this is now from Mark Few. If he ever does get enshrined in the Hall of Fame, they'll say, well, he did have that Final Four appearance back in 2017, whether or not we're talking about a national champion.
He always pointed to that. So Gene would know because Gene had all these great teams, had #1 seed, coached the big dog, won all these Big Ten championships, multiple time national coach of the year, but never went to a Final Four, and they hold that over his head. So the fact that Mark Few as a coach is finally able to get to that hump, because coaches are judged on Final Fours. Yes, national titles are obviously the gold standard.
Sure.
But if you're able to get to the Final Four over and over and over again, that's why Tom Izzo has so much juice, because he's been to 7 of them.
Yeah, and even Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, when you go to 3 of them, even though he's only won it once in 2003.
The Final Fours are the gold standard for coaches. Then obviously national championships are the whole nother level if you want to be considered one of the all-time greats. But that is the gold standard. So the only thing I don't like about this whole, the Gonzaga guys doing this, Coach Few and Coach Few getting that monkey off the... Get 2 more games, boys.
Gotta go win.
Because getting to the Final Four is great. George Mason's done it. VCU's done it. Butler's done it. None of those teams have won.
No.
Go win it, and I think that takes your program to a whole nother level.
I cheated Jim Boeheim once. 4 times he's gone to the national semifinal, cutting down the nets in 2003. I forgot about the 96 team that broke my heart. They lost Antoine Walker and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Otis Hill.
Remember?
John Wallace.
That's what. In 2003, of course, it wasn't just Carmelo. G-Mac. Jerry McNamara. We'll find out if Mark Few can cut down the nets with 2 more wins.